Hello there guys, and today we have another Football Manager video, and today we're putting Mikel Arteta in charge of Everton. So, I'm an Everton fan myself, and obviously yesterday Marco Silva did get sacked in real life. So, you know, it's sad to see him go because he didn't really do anything bad in terms of like actions or what he said about the club. You know, nothing bad like that. Obviously his tactics and way of playing just didn't seem to fit us. And obviously now we're going to find out whether it was his fault, the reason why we're 17th, or the players, or, you know, what have you. But anyway, he is now gone and been sacked, and now obviously there's loads of names that can be put that are going to be next for the Everton job, or possibly going to be in charge of Everton next. So obviously one of them is Mikel Arteta. Now I don't actually believe he's in the bookies right now in terms of being close to putting in charge, but I know his name's been floating around, and obviously you can see here he has been at Everton before. He did play for us from 2005 to 2011. He then obviously went to Arsenal, so I thought it'd be interesting to see him back at Everton in a manager role and see how he does, because obviously a lot of people are saying with him being Pep's assistant manager, he might not be ready for a full manager's job just yet. But what I thought we'd do is we'll use Football Manager and see how he does in charge of Everton. So before we head on into the video, I'll mention some other changes. If you do enjoy today's video, don't forget, leave a like down below on the video and hit the subscribe button. That would really help us out. And you get to see more videos like this. Like I say, I'm going to try and upload one of these videos every day. Maybe not obviously in terms of Everton, just all sorts of videos. One video I'm thinking of next is maybe Celtic and Rangers in the Premier League. See how they do. But that's just another idea. Like I say, leave a like and hit the subscribe button if you are interested in seeing that video. So, before we head on and, like I say, simulate the season, there's a couple other changes I did. So I put Mikel Arteta in charge. I also sacked the assistant manager just because I thought it'd be better that way. Mikel Arteta can bring his own assistant manager in if he tends to. So I've done that as well. And also the other two changes I did was sack Poch from Tottenham, put Mourinho in charge, and then Unai Emery, I sacked him from Arsenal, and just let them clubs sort of play out how they are in real life. And then it should hopefully make it a little bit more realistic. So you can see here, he's now in charge of Everton. I think I just give him a 1-year deal. Yeah, so he's got, oh no, sorry, a 2-year deal he's got right now at Everton. So hopefully if he impresses, he'll get obviously an increase on that. But it'll be interesting to see how he does with the team and how he lays out and everything. Like I say, with him being assistant manager right now, I'd like to see how he goes formation-wise with the team. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead, simulate the season, and meet back up with you in just a sec. So here we are, guys, back after the season has been simulated. We're going to have a look in now and see how Mikel Arteta has done at Everton. So the first thing we'll do is we'll search his name to see if he actually is still in a job. And he still is, as you can see, manager at Everton. And let's just see here, pleased to be in charge of one of his favourite clubs. So that's good to see. So he's still in charge. So let's have a quick see now where Everton have finished and how they're doing, how they line up and everything else. So here we go. So okay, a 4-2-3-1. Moyes Keane up front. I'm liking that. Like to see that he's getting played. And let's have a see. So they finished 7th in the Premier League. Let's see how the league actually finished. So Man City winning it. Equal points with Liverpool. Obviously going through on goal difference there. 45 to their 43. Arsenal in 3rd. Chelsea in 4th. Tottenham in 5th. Man United in 6th. Everton in 7th. Which is good to see that Mikel Arteta coming in. People saying he won't really do it, you know, because he's been assistant manager to Pep. Not had a full, you know, manager's spot, let's just say. And you can see here from the injury table, they have had one of the highest amount of injuries. I know the highest injuries only been 3, but they're up there with 2. So he's had a lot to deal with this season. Let's have a see who he's brought in. And one thing I forgot to mention at the start of the video was that I did disable the first transfer window this summer. So he only had the January transfer window to improve the team. So first things first, let's have a see at the past positions for Everton. Because obviously to finish 7th, I want to see were they anywhere near the top, were they anywhere near the bottom at some point. So wow, okay, so you can see here, so after the first game, lost 3-0 to Tottenham there. We started off, rookie start here near the bottom end of the table, and obviously as the weeks go by, we're starting to pick it up, drop a little bit here, but then we start picking it up. And then we're in 6th for what, about 3 weeks here? 3 weeks we're in 6th. Drop again, and then we have quite a big drop here coming into the 29th, 30th week of the season. And then here we are picking it back up into the 7th place. And that's where we remain for the end of the season. So, not a bad first season for him. Like I say, now we'll have a look at the transfers, see who he's brought in for Everton. So we know these 3 signings here is who he's brought in. So he's brought Marcus Rojo in on loan from United. Stuart Armstrong in from Southampton. Let's have a little look at him. So he's 28 years of age. Midfielder, attacking midfielder. So I'm guessing he just want a little bit more depth in the midfield, because right now it's probably where we're lacking at Everton is the midfield. So bringing him in is probably a good thing, let's be honest. Who else did he bring in? One other little player here from Salzburg. 5.5 million raising to 7.25. 25 years of age. Attacking midfielder again. Okay, valued at 17 million. So possibly for the price he got him, maybe a bargain. Let's have a little look at his career stats. So for Everton, since coming in at January, he had 14 appearances, 1 goal, an average rating of 6.75. So maybe not the best of average ratings there. As you can see at Salzburg, he was on a 7.35 before he left them. Scoring 4 goals and 2 assists and 3 player of the matches. So clearly he needs to adjust to the league. But so, well, let's just say here he's brought in 2 midfielders and a centre-back, which is probably what we're going to look for in the January transfer window anyway. Any more players sold to my knowledge here? Morgan Schneiderlin, they got rid of him to Moscow, Lokomotiv Moscow for 6 million. Good bit of business there. Anthony Gordon going out on loan. Cuco Martina going out on loan. It would have been nice to see him actually go out for sale. But either way, he has gone. So we'll have a quick look at the staff as well. Did he bring in an assistant manager? And he did. Another Spanish assistant manager. Does he have any relation to him? So, okay, so he was at Arsenal recently as a coach. So he's brought him in from there. Looks like a really good coach here. 17-man management. 16 in both of these, judging player ability and player potential. So a great assistant manager there to bring in. So let's have a quick look here at the schedule. So let's see how they did throughout the whole season. So in the few friendlies we started off with, we didn't do too bad. 5 wins, sorry, should I say there. Losing in Baines testimonial, unfortunately. And as you can see, from the past positions we looked at before, we didn't get off to the best of starts. And you can see here, 3 defeats on the bounce. Tottenham, United, then Watford. But then to pick up a win against Burnley, then Arsenal. Who do Arsenal have in charge? Patrick Vieira. Okay, since obviously we sacked Unai Emery. Wolves. Okay, so we get a sort of gist of how the Premier League went. Let's have a see how the Carabao Cup went. So second round, third round, fourth round didn't do too bad. Okay, quarterfinals, 3-0 against Leicester. That was good. Okay, so then this is where we have the problem here. Carabao Cup lost 4-0 there to City in the semi-final. And Bernardo Silva scoring 2 goals and Aguero scoring 2 goals. In the second leg, we managed to get 2 goals. Gylfi Sigurdsson and Walcott getting 2 goals, but then Aguero scoring a goal there. And so that unfortunately knocks us out. So FA Cup, obviously third round here, 4-0. Good victory there. 1-0 win against Wigan. Fifth round, 2-0 win against West Brom. And then the FA Cup quarter, Chelsea. Oh no, so sorry. We go through on penalties. That is pretty mad, to be fair, and I'm sure that was the same. I want to say 2005. Am I wrong? When we went through on penalties, or we beat Chelsea in the FA Cup. I might be completely wrong there, but I'm sure something along them lines. And then we go into the FA Cup semi-final against City and beat them 1-0. That was a massive victory there. Alex Iwobi getting the winner. And did we end up winning the FA Cup? I'm going to scroll down there. Okay, so we ended up winning the FA Cup. 3-0 victory against Tottenham, and Moise Kean bagging himself a hat-trick there in one of the biggest games of the season. So Mikel Arteta's come in, managed to get us a 7th finish in the Premier League and win us the FA Cup. And from my perspective, he's done an amazing job. Just like I say, how can you top that? How can you top that? Let's have a quick look at the landmarks, see if anything's happened. Okay, so obviously we won the FA Cup, and then after that, literally a week after that, Bill Kenwright has left, and a new chairman has come in. That is pretty mad. So you can see here, Mikel Arteta, as manager, almost been in charge for a year, now has a 54% win ratio, in charge at Everton. So that is pretty mad, if I'm going to be honest. He plays a 4-2-3-1. Let's have a see at the players. How did you do in terms of goals this season? So we rank it from the top. Alex Iwobi there getting 14 goals and 5 assists. Is he the highest average rating? He is at 7.14. Then Gylfi Sigurdsson coming in behind at 7.11, or 7.11, sorry, should I say. 13 goals and 6 assists. How did Moise Kean do? Because as we've seen, he got the hat-trick in that final there. He got 9 goals and 2 assists. Richarlison coming in behind there on 7 goals and 2 assists. Unfortunately injured at the moment. He suffered a broken lower leg. Broken lower leg suffered during Everton's 2-0 win over West Brom on the 4th of March 2020. Expected to be out to 3 to 7 weeks, so that's not great at all for him. But obviously it's great knowing he has Moise Kean, that can play up front. Got Walcott on the wings, Bernard on the wing. So he's got a little bit of depth there. And obviously he brought 2 other centre attacking midfielders in January, so that sort of covered him a little bit there. But you can see here, this is how he's starting to play. Well, preferred formation, should I say, and players. One thing I'm glad is that he's using Moise Kean up front. Because I was worried that he might get overshadowed a little bit with Calvert-Lewin. And now talking to Calvert-Lewin, where is he? Did he get loaned out? Okay, so he didn't get loaned out. He just didn't really get played that much. He managed to get 6 goals though, so he didn't do too bad. But you can see here, Moise Kean getting the higher average match rating. Only by how much? Let's have a see. Only by 0.05. So must just been, preferred. Just preferred Moise Kean. Maybe his stats. Let's have a quick look at his stats actually. So you can see there his determination 16 to 20. And obviously he did come in from Juventus. Pretty much wonder kid. I don't know if he's classed as wonder kid on FM. I could pretty much sure he is classed as a wonder kid. And I'm just glad that he is getting game time. But there we have it. He's finished 7th in his first season in charge at Everton. We're going to simulate another season and see how he does in charge for another season. So then guys, we're back after the second season has been simmed. We're going to have a look now at Mikel Arteta. Did really well last season. We're going to see how he's done this season. So first things first, let's search his name and see if he still is in the Everton job. And okay, he is unemployed. So interesting to see now. Where has Everton finished? Did he get sacked? Did he leave? We're going to find out right now. So obviously you can see unemployed history 2019 to 2021. So let's have a see. So we finished 6th in the Premier League. So it'll be interesting to see why has he been sacked? Has he left? We'll have to find out. But let's have a quick look at the Premier League and see how it finished. So we finishing in 6th there, missing out on the qualification. Liverpool winning on 89 points, Chelsea in 2nd on 78. So quite a big gap there. Man City in 4th on 76 points. Quite a surprise there. God knows why the 4th. Is Pep's not even still in charge, so God knows what's going on there at Manchester City. Obviously not great at all. But concentrating on Everton, we're finishing in 6th, so still a good, finish in the league. I don't see why he would get sacked for that, especially last season winning the FA Cup as well. Let's have a quick look first at landmarks. What has happened here? So obviously we see this happen last season. So Community Shield runners up, so we didn't end up winning the Community Shield. Was obviously facing off in that against Manchester City. Seamus Coleman removed as captain, Pickford appointed as captain, and Gylfi Sigurdsson appointed as vice captain. Okay, so let's have a see first at his transfer history and see who he's brought in. Considering this year, obviously, he had the summer transfer window and the January transfer window to bring in players. So let's have a see here. So, Sidibe got brought in permanently for 6.5 million. Batshuayi got brought in for 8.75 million. Deulofeu got brought in for 22 million. Okay, interesting signing. He has played for Everton before. Another player here brought in from Rochdale. Let's have a quick look at him. 17 years old, so he looks promising. Got some decent stats here as well. Any other players here that stand out? A player here from PSG. Defensive midfielder. Okay, not a bad little signing there. 26 years of age, valued at 31 million. Who did he sell? So here you can see Lucas Dean has gone to Man United for 27.5 million. John Joe Kenny's gone to Brighton for 26.5 million. Interesting to sell them too. I wouldn't sell them personally, but obviously you don't know the circumstances at the time. Obviously, I don't know if he's not brought in a left back here, so is he a left back? Okay, no, so he's attacking midfielder, so he didn't bring in another left back, so I'm guessing he's promoted one from the under-23s. Calvert-Lewin gone to Crystal Palace for 15 million. Gabamin's gone to Leicester for 10.5 million. Holgate's gone to Aston Villa. Walcott's gone out for 4.1 million. Any other players that have sort of gone? Nias gone out for a free. Beningame gone out on loan. So that's been the transfers he's made. So let's have a quick look at his past positions for the Premier League, because I want to see how he's done. So obviously we're on Everton here now. So we jumped straight up to 3rd here. 4th game in and we're in 3rd position. And we were for more or less half the season, or just over half the season. And that is obviously amazing for us to be in 3rd for half the season. Obviously a few drops here and there, but consistently, you could say, well, not consistently, but, you know, more or less we're in third position. But it started to drop off here after match 22, a draw against Newcastle, and we ended up going down here into 6th, spiking up to 5th twice, but then remaining in 6th there for the rest of the season. So, unsure why he's been sacked. Let's have a quick look here at the managers. And Mikel Arteta was sacked. Obviously, you can see there he's got the 1 cup win last season. He's got a 53% win ratio. Lost 33 games, and I'm guessing that is a win. 58 games won. 17 games drawn. Obviously, he's won the FA Cup last season, which is really great for him to win that. Let's have a look at his preferred team. So, Richarlison up front this season instead of Moise Kean. We're going to have to check that. 12 goals from him. Iwobi, what's his stats? So, 13 goals and 11 assists. Highest average rating. Really good season by him. Deulofeu on the right. Sigurdsson at camp. Gomez and Davies in CDM. Gibson at left back. Connolly in centre back with Keane. And Sidibe in right back with Hansen in goal. And obviously seeing Hansen down, I'm thinking Pickford might have left, but he's not. As you can see, he's still captain. So let's have a quick look at the players. So off goals, Sigurdsson scored the most. Sandro there coming in on 14 goals. Alex Iwobi coming in on 13. Richarlison coming in on 12. Where's Moise Kean? Okay, so Moise Kean's here. 7 goals, 6 assists. Interesting to know why he wasn't playing as often. You can see last season, 21 appearances. He played a lot more games last season. Has he had any major injuries? So he got a tight groin. How long was he out for? For 2 days, and then obviously a gashed upper leg. He's only out for 5 days. So nothing major there really to say why he hasn't been playing. Let's have a quick look at his milestones for Everton. So obviously in the first season winning the FA Cup, he was named Young Player of the Month for April. I'm guessing that about him being around the time he got that hat-trick as well. Named in English Premier League Team of the Week, Team of the Week, Team of the Week. And named in Everton's seasonal best 11. So that's something we didn't really look at, is Everton's best 11. So let's have a quick look here. So Moise Kean up front, Iwobi on the left, Bernard at cam, Charlton on the right, Gomez, Sigurdsson at CDM. I quite like the idea of that. Luca Dean, Keane, Yerry Mina, Sidibe and Pickford. So not a bad little team there. I like the idea of Bernard at cam. Probably I prefer obviously Bernard on left, Iwobi at cam, but not a bad little team there. Interesting to know why Moise Kean hasn't played. I'm guessing Moise Kean would have played the start of the season. Then he's brought Batshuayi in, and then, well, actually, when did he bring him in? He brought him in the summer, actually. So I wonder why. Did not think, well, I'm guessing when did actually Calvert-Lewin leave? So Calvert-Lewin left in January. So at one point in the club, he had 3 strikers, possibly 4 if you include Richarlison. And in the summer, he decided to sell Dominic Calvert-Lewin and bring Batshuayi in from Chelsea. So a quick look at the schedule here before we end this off and look at Mikel Arteta as a whole. The pre-season went really well, winning every friendly there. So we got off to a good start there. And the Community Shield, as we seen earlier, runners-up. We ended up losing 3-2 to City. Aguero there with the hat-trick. And as we know, the Premier League went really well for us, you know, staying up third from majority, well not majority, but you've seen from the graph, we stayed up third for quite a while within that region, 3rd and 4th almost. But obviously win the Europa League this season, so it could have been tough run of games. But even so, to finish 6th with the Europa League and obviously the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup was still really well done in my opinion. So the Carabao Cup, let's see how he did in that. So 3rd round won against Cardiff, and then ended up losing the 4th round to Chelsea 2-1. Unfortunately, let's have a see how he did in the FA Cup this season. So he won the 3rd round. 4th round, he ended up winning that as well. 5th round, he won that. Got to the quarter-finals, ended up beating Huddersfield 3-1. And then he lost in the semi-finals, unfortunately, to Chelsea again. 2-1 defeat. And that was the same as the Carabao Cup defeat, I do believe. Yes, a 2-1 defeat. Unfortunately, Chelsea being the one to beat us twice out of both competitions. How did he do in the Europa League? Not more importantly, but obviously by the looks of it, he was still in that. So we scroll down here. We ended up going through here in the first knockout round. In the second knockout round, ended up going through against Hoffenheim. But here we can see we're against Real Madrid. Ended up losing the first leg, and then in the second leg, we ended up winning 2-1. Obviously, then Eden Hazard with the goal knocking us out of that in the quarterfinals, unfortunately. So, in terms of cup competitions, we got knocked out of them all. But obviously, to get to the FA Cup semi-final could be classed as good in terms of, you know, Everton's, you know, I wouldn't say Everton's past, but as of recent, you know, to get to the FA Cup semi-final would have been appreciated by fans. Obviously, last season winning it, you'd probably expect him to win it this season. But to get to the semi-finals, great. Europa League to get to the, you know, quarter-final to get knocked out by Real Madrid. And then the Carabao Cup, you know, get knocked out early was not great at all. Who ended up winning the Europa League? So, obviously, we got knocked out in the quarter-final. So, we go to the final here. Real Madrid ended up going through and winning that against Atletico Madrid. So, we come to an end of the video because I was interested to see if we would, you know, make a two-part series of this. But obviously not. Mikel Arteta has been sacked. Be interested to see who they bring in next as a manager. Let's have a see where will he go next? We don't know. Let's have a quick look at his history and his milestones as an Everton manager. So if we go here and scroll down to, well, let's have a look at awards more specifically. No awards. Competitions, ended up obviously finishing 6th. Knocked out there, knocked out, won that. Did he get any? I might be on the wrong landmarks, possibly, overall. Let's have a quick look down here. So he obviously got sacked. Did he win any managers of the months? Anything like that? I can't really see anything. Keep scrolling down here. Just players bought and sold. And are we going back to last season here? We are. So this was this season. Brought obviously these players in here. Hired a new goalkeeping coach. That's one thing I didn't do. Had a new youth development. That's one thing I didn't do, was change the staff in terms of fitness and goalkeeping from Marco Silva's staff. Before this year ended, he changed his captains around. And no, he didn't seem to win any Manager of the Month awards, unfortunately for him, even though he did so well with Everton. One thing I just want to check, what happened to Jordan Pickford? Why was he not playing so many games? Well, not why wasn't he? He might have played a lot of games, but in terms of what we just seen there, we saw it by appearances, and Jordan Pickford did get 51 appearances, so he did play a lot of games, 7 match rating. If we go down here, can we find Hansen? Where is he? So we can't find him. Let's go back. He might be in the under 23s, and he is, but for some reason on this graph here, he is deemed as his preferred starting 11, or that might have been his most recent starting 11. I'm not too sure. I think it might be his most recent. Not too sure. But yeah, that is it for this episode, guys. Well, this video, shall we say. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's been interesting to see Mikel Arteta in charge of Everton and what he's achieved in his first and second season. And like I say, if you have enjoyed today's video, don't forget, leave a like down below. Leave a comment on what videos you'd like to see next. And hit the subscribe button for more videos like this. And I'll see you all next time.